Hello Chipsters, it's me Gav and welcome to another one of my videos. Today it's the second, I believe, instalment on the Osorio build. That's the 1 in 35 scale Trumpeter Brazilian main battle tank prototype. It's another one. You can't get that out quick enough, can you? You've seen the title anyway, you've seen the box. If you haven't seen any of these videos, it was a private venture by a Brazilian company to make a main battle tank, hoping, I believe, to sell it to countries around the world that weren't buying the main, American, German, British, French type tanks, and aimed at, other countries that would buy them, in the Middle East and things. And I believe the Brazilian government didn't have a lot of input into it. It was mainly a private venture, with the hope that if they could get enough capital by selling them, they would then build up maybe the Brazilian armies. It would be the new choice for the Brazilian army as well. But it didn't come to pass. They only made two. The company then stopped trading, whatever you want to call it, and the two main battle tanks. But by the way, these are from the late 1980s, or mid 80s to early 90s, and you can see both prototypes in the Brazilian Army Museum, I believe. Well, that's where they look like when they're on pictures on the internet. So I primed it in AK, as it real primer, whatever but I put grey down first, and then black in all the, what I would say, nooks and crannies areas, which gave it a nice modulated look to it. It actually went quite well down on the armour texture that I've put on, so that went quite well. There's the odd little bits, like Gav decided to put his thumb on a piece. So I'll be waiting to see how that, you watch. We'll put the video camera down on the desk in a minute and it'll stand out a country mile. I'm not putting the side skirts on yet because, like the Merkava with these rubber tracks and trying to fit them, I need to obviously get those on before I can put side skirts on, because I think it's just going to be a nightmare otherwise. So I'll put those on after I've attached the tracks. The tracks are black primered, but they've not been anything else been done to them yet. There's some stowage. Some of it's got to be painted, more or less. A lot of these things were literally sprayed over, but I've got a couple of jerry cans and things that still need to be painted. The wheels, I haven't got any type of, these like circle things that guys used to mask wheels with. I haven't got any of that. And in my infinite wisdom last night, I decided, I've got 40 minutes, an hour to spare. I'll put a couple of coats on with a brush on the wheel rims themselves. I'm obviously putting a sand colour on a black base, just like doing figures. It takes a lot of work, and they came up really scruffy. So I'm actually going to I will try and cut myself a template, but I don't think it's the same as getting it smack on with like a die or something. So, but I will try and make myself a little template, and I'm going to spray those in the next couple of days. I think that's the best way to go on that. So, if you join me down at the bench, we'll look at the tank now. It's got its, I should have said as well, that's me going all over the shop. It's got it's painted, as far as I'm concerned. It's looking very pale, and I'm hoping to put some desert type filters on it, and then start. I've done it deliberately paler than I wanted it, because of the weathering that's going to go on. This isn't going to be an extremely weathered tank. There's no point. There's two prototypes, and this is done in the colours of it roughly that it would have been in Saudi Arabia when it went over there to do a test. So it's in a desert colour of sorts, and I have seen obviously video of it under test in Saudi. I'm not saying that mine will look, exactly like that. I'm not getting it too hung up over it. It's a prototype, and to be straight with you, the paints I've got for spraying that type of colours and that are mainly Israeli, and they don't really match unless I'm doing loads and loads of mixing to bring it up to that lighter shade. So I've used German Dunkelgelb from AK Real Colours, and it's like an ivory interior, white, and that's what's giving it its real bleached look. But to be straight with you, I actually like it because I think it's gonna work well with maybe filters over it, which I haven't really done before. So that's going to be I've had these filters a while, so it'll be interesting to see how they go on, and then messing some oils. I was looking at Tank Brush's latest video. If you don't know Tank Brusher, go and check him out. He does a lot of World War II German armour, and I'm trying to convince him to do the modern series of post-war Leopard tanks. I love the Leopard tank, and I'd like to see his work on that. But he's more or less done a tank, a World War II German tank, and it was as pale as mine, and his came up quite well. But he's got a lot more products and that to throw at it. Whereas I'm really using what I've got on this one. I don't want to smash the budget, so it is whatever Gav could find in his drawers and cupboards. So join me at the bench, guys. Just have a quick squiz at this, and next time you see it, hopefully it'll be weathered with its wheels on. Might even be all done. I don't know yet. So we'll go join me at the bench before I waffle on anymore, and we'll have a look. Right, guys, thanks for joining me at the bench. Not a huge amount to show you. As I say, it's probably bleaching even more under all these lights. This is the filters that I'm going to use, or filter. Obviously, it says without my glasses on. Grey for yellow sand, ochre for light sand, and brown for dark and desert yellow. No idea yet, to be honest with you. And there's our filters are enamel. So that should be interesting. I've got to put my glasses on because that was nearly a fail then trying to read those out. Oh, the curse of age. Right. I think the you can't really see there, but the armour texturing I don't think for a first attempt has come out too bad. It's thicker on here because I left it purposely thicker as the rough texture for walking on. There should have been more rough texture on the actual turret itself. I left that with artistic license, to be fair. I was just trying different things out. There's still some nice shadow areas coming through with the darker, where I've gone around with the darker, with the black on, round edges and hatches and things, so that's good. The only thing is, like with the texture on here, it should actually be in a particular pattern, which I didn't realise at the time, and now I'm not gonna bother now. That texture, which you can't really see here, I think that's a bit rough probably on the mud guards there. Very proud of my barrel. There's a slight seam. Oh, slight seam. There's a lot of seam there now, isn't there? Now I don't remember seeing that before. I was actually quite proud of that until I've just shown it on camera. Oh, great. Oh, I'm not doing it now. No. Oh, that's a shame. I thought I'd done better at it than that, and obviously the lights picked it up on it. Oh well. I was actually quite impressed with me filling and sanding abilities. It's getting there. It's better than it was, but no, I wasn't expecting to see that. Oh well, it's all live on camera. I'll have a good cry when the camera's turned off. But yeah, you can't really see the texture very well under these lights, but when I do some photographs when it's all put together, hopefully we'll see. Yeah, I'm disappointed with that. I'm not going back on it now. You can understand why people buy metal barrels, but it won't break me. I will. That's really disappointing. I will attempt better on the next. On the one I've actually got this is the 120mm. I've got the 105mm, the British gun. Actually here, I just thought, well, as a spare, I'll do her up. It's got the laser rangefinder at the end. It's just been literally glued together the other day, as you can see by the seam. So I might have a real good go at this and just see as a practice piece as well. I thought it done well actually. I thought I'd actually cured it, but never mind. We'll get there. These are the skirts. again, looking at it, it might have been able to have smoothed that slightly more. There's a couple of lumps here that there wouldn't really be, and there's one there that'll definitely need taking out. Yeah, there's a bit of texture there. Oh, probably a bit thick, I'd say. Maybe I need to have to sand that better, but it is what it is. But that was supposed to be our armour texture. See what it all looks like with a filter and some oils over it anyway. Again, I did go darker down between the dividers between the different armour sections. And as I say, going from the Merkava, I'll probably add those right at the end. You know, just to make it easier to get the tracks on without actually pulling the actual armour skirts off. So yeah, one very pale tank at the moment, and hopefully with a bit of enamels and oils on, it'll come up a bit better. And so I'm disappointed now looking at that gun barrel. I really thought that'd come up better. Obviously the lights picked it up more. Still, we'll keep going on the gun barrels until maybe magically in a couple of years' time we'll have a completely smooth a round gun barrel. I haven't flattened it off as much as I would have done on an aeroplane, so that's something. Right, guys, thank you very much for stopping by and taking a look at this. This I believe is the second part. I always do this. I make a video and not remember if it's a second, third, fourth, whatever. But I believe it's the second one. As I say, we'll get some different weathering techniques on there. Chipping wise, I might just, I don't know, I might put around the mud guards and things like that a little few chips just and showing the green paint underneath where they would have originally been. Well, they're normally a tri-camo, I believe, but I might just add a couple of bits of green in there just to, you know, there's no point on a project vehicle that went over for a test to have it absolutely hammered, because it wouldn't have been. So again, the welds, they are way too thick. They look like the Great Wall of China, but it's my first attempt. I'm just going to have to learn to make the you know, the little stringy bits of putty a lot thinner than that. You probably get away with that actually on some of the Soviet tanks from the 50s and 60s. And I've actually got a T-55 to do next. The flame cuts down here where they've obviously cut the plating up to obviously get the right sizes, and that's not come up too bad. And I say there will be holes at the moment because there's bits of stowage to go on as well, and the fans have got to go on the back, on the filters I should say. So guys, thank you very much again, and next video up would be, oh yeah, there's the unboxing of the Tyron T55 I'll be doing after this, so I'll be doing that one probably tomorrow, and then I'm basing up some of those 28mm old guard Napoleonics, and I've started cleaning up the next unit, which is some French light infantry from the period. But anyway, thank you very much for stopping by and taking a look. I hope everything's well with you guys, and we will catch each other very soon on another video. Cheers.